Good morning.
Good morning.
It's 10:30, and I welcome you to the March meeting. It is March, right? March meeting of the all residents at Village on the Green. This is March the 11th, I believe. And so I'm glad to see all of you here. First of all, in honor of Stan, would you please silence your phones? And then I want to welcome any new residents that are here with us today. In particular, I know Georgianne Clemens is back here, and so we will welcome her. She's moving on to Green Trail as soon as they can get that fellow ready. We all know how that goes, but we hope that it will be sooner rather than later. And then I want to welcome anybody who is attending their first all residents meeting. Looks like all the familiar faces out there, so I don't know if there's anybody here for the first time, but you are, oh my goodness, Carol and Hal, who have been here 150 years, are at their first all residents meeting. Well, we welcome you and we encourage you to come back because there's always good stuff going on here. Okay. I want to let you know that the Residents Council met last Thursday, as we routinely do before the All Residents meeting, and the minutes are posted on Uniguest at the Resident Council tab, so you can see them there. A special thanks to Lynn Esco, who continues to work with ChatGPT and curate those minutes so they become easier and more user-friendly all the time. The resident council meetings and all resident committee meetings are open to all residents all of the time. The meeting schedule is in the Green Horizons. We would welcome you as a visitor anytime you would like to come. Here we go. And we encourage you to join us. If any of these 6 committees spark your interest, we elect new chairmen and reform the committees every year, and you would have a chance to know about the committee that might be of interest to you, that you might be interested in serving on. But you'll never make a good decision unless you come and see what's happening. So let's encourage you to come and see us all in action. I'll start with the agenda so you know what's coming. After I give the welcome and give you a little bit of an update from the Residents Council, Basil will talk to us about what's going on with FLYCRA. Then Lynn will tell us the update from Health and Wellness. Phyllis will tell us about what's going on with lifestyle. And within that, Carol Amster, also known as Elvis, will be coming to tell you about the play. Then Judy will tell us about the Olympics. Stan's going to give us an update on electronic communications, and we're going to close with Jerry telling us about the wonderful lunch that was held for the employees last Friday. Okay. There are 2 things that I want to tell you from Residents Council that don't fall under somebody else's report. And the first of all is you may remember that you received something that looked like this in your invoice last time. It is a update on service rate changes that will take effect the 1st of April. This is a confusing document, and much angst was conveyed to the people who put this together, asking for clarity. So, we're in the process of clarifying it. I saw a draft last night that will be coming to you within the next week or less to try to make it clear what's being charged here. It is true that it has been a long time, 3 years or so, since some of these fees were increased, and there's good rationale for increasing them, but what they actually apply to was not clear. Now, we may have used this example before, but the extra charge for changing the water filter in your refrigerator is not an every time fee. It's if you request it outside of the normal schedule for changing it, then there's an extra fee. But if it's part of the regular maintenance that we've been getting all along, then no, it's included in your monthly service fee. And that's what this document in its revised form tries to explain. So watch for it. It's a replacement of this one. Okay, are we comfortable there? All right. The second thing is something I learned at Plant Ops yesterday. We all know that January and February were cold months, and so we were running our heater. But guess what happened to Village on the Green's electric bill in that time? It went up $12,000. That's a lot. But the suggestion is not that we don't turn on the heat. Go ahead and be comfortable. But what's contributing to the continued increase in the fee is something that I'm guilty of, so I wanted to share it with you so maybe you could stop doing this like I'm going to stop doing this. Now that it's springtime, I love to open my new window and get fresh air in. But I leave the air conditioning on at the same time. So when there's cold air coming out of the air conditioner and warm-ish air coming through the window, it's causing A, overuse of electricity, but B, the potential for mold to grow around my air conditioner vent. Not a good thing. So if you are guilty as I am of opening the windows and leaving the AC on, try to change your behavior and stop doing that. When you open the window, turn off the air. When you close the window, turn it back on. Let's see if we can save even this much electricity and a whole lot of mold issues. Questions? Are we good? Okay. All right. That's what I wanted to share with you from Residents Council and from going to Plant Ops. You get the best stuff when you go to committees, I'm telling you. Okay, and our first speaker then is Basil, so stop being comfortable and come on up and tell us about flag running.
Thank you very much, Sue, and good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. Now, I've got a bunch of stuff for you today, and I'm going to try to not break the bank on time, but there's been an awful lot happened since the last time that we met. And in fact, that also includes the resident council meeting last week. Since then, we've got the Connections newsletter for the first quarter of 2026, and we also got the third of the, thank you. Yeah, that's what I just dropped. I was going to show it to you. And we also got another of the electronic newsletters. And I wanted to stop right at the start and ask if there anybody in here that didn't get a connection or did not get the electronic newsletter. Anybody? Okay. See me or the member of the board is sitting right next to you. Talk to Barbara. She'll take care of you on that. Okay? And so everybody should get them that wants them. Anybody else? Okay. So now, what am I going to talk about today? I've got really 4 things that I want to give to you. First of all, there is some legislative updates that you need to hear about. There is the best description of the work plans that I know of in your connections, and I want to talk just a little bit about that. Secondly, there's a tremendous document out on bankruptcies. Most of you in here should know that most of the activity of last year by the Leading Age and FLICRA work group was aimed at improving the status of residents in bankruptcies. There is now a report available to anybody that wants it that lays out the bankruptcies in senior housing since 2019, skipping 2020 because that was the year of the help from the federal government, the subsidies for the COVID pandemic. And so most of us had a good year, but then 21 through 25 are also handled in that report. And finally, I want to tell you a little bit about what the FLICRA team is trying to do here, but I'm going to tell you the same thing at the end. We don't have the horsepower to deliver what we'd really like to deliver. So if anybody has interest in participating in the local FLICRA chapter, see anybody in the room that belongs to that, and that's about half of the people here, I think. But anyhow, come to the next meeting and we'll do something for you. Let me start by talking about the monthly e-newsletters. The monthly e-newsletters, we've had 3 now since the last meeting here. What do they do for us? Well, first of all, they've got 3 bills, and these 3 bills that are going to go through in some fashion. You know, nobody can tell till they're finally resolved and voted out what they're going to look like. But right now, there are 3 bills that affect people that are here at Village on the Green. What are they? Well, one deals with memory care. I've never heard of that except when you live in Village on the Green, and it's a major subject, right? So the purpose of the one bill, it's House Bill 1295, is to focus on memory care to improve it. And there'll be a special license and some new definitions, but more importantly, the Department of Elderly Affairs has to create a Florida Alzheimer's Center of Excellence. The 2 of these bills deal with Alzheimer's, and they're special interest things, and they will make some kind of a dent in our processes this year, and we should have an interest in them, even though we didn't kind of get our bill advanced to the floor. And the next one is an Alzheimer's disease awareness, and that's a separate bill, House Bill 513, Senate Bill 578, and that's going to be implemented by the Department of Elderly Affairs, and it's to bring technology and better care to people who need attention in that area. And finally, there's a House Bill 1121, which is going to reduce wait time for seniors to acquire services. I'm not going to go in deeper in that because I can't, but there's a lot of activity that does affect us, and FLICRA keeps their eyes on that even though our bill did not advance. I'm going to skip my next slide and jump down to the one that's titled Senior Care, Chapter 11, Bankruptcies. The reason I'm skipping that is in the interest of time. The other 2 newsletters simply gave you an update on the processing. Where were they in the process? And if you want to get down to the fine-tuning of that, you can look at that. But right now, I'd rather talk about the senior care bankruptcy filing because it's really the best report I've ever seen. Now, we've been looking a long time at bankruptcies here, usually one at a time. If you live in the state of Florida, the one that happened over in Tampa with an outfit called Unison, that used to be University Village at the USF, has caught the attention of a lot of people. Some of you picked up on the Wall Street Journal article of about a year and a half ago now. And so there have been newspaper accounts of this, but the objective is that bankruptcies do occur at a predictable rate almost. For that 5-year period of the report, they talk about how big they are, and the larger ones are usually in CCRCs. That was something I didn't recognize till there. About 25% of the occurrences happened in CCRCs, but they were the ones with the highest dollar value. Okay. So what else do I want to say about that? Well, I just want to say that document is available. It's very specific in time. The last 2 pages, pages 9 and 10, list all the examples of bankruptcies, and some of you will recognize that Edgemere is mentioned in that listing. SQL is mentioned a number of times. That is dear to the heart of the Finance Committee one time, but we have had some experience with that here. Not a village on the green, but in other life space activities. So if anybody has an interest in that, you can sure contact me and I'll tell you how to get it, but I'm not going to get it in the printing business. It is kind of a detailed report. Okay, let's go to the next one. Thank you very much. The last one. Okay, so what's the local FLICRA people doing about this? Well, we spent some time planning what we're going to do, but this identifies what we'd like to do. What we'd really like to do is become a lot more effective in communicating with you about what's going on. All that we can do at a resident meeting like this is touch the top of the peak. To get down into doing any action items or participating with any other FLICRA activities is handled outside of this meeting. So all I can do is say, we want to communicate, we want a greater presence in the Green Horizons, a greater presence in the resident app than we've had in the past. We're going to improve that. Probably even more important, and you've heard from that at the previous meetings, is we're going to start an educational series on using the modules that a lady named Cindy Barker had prepared for the use of FLICRA activities at the various facilities. They're really good things, but they really are sometimes detailed. And Lloyd is taking the lead on getting that out to you, but we hope to have those out to you within starting in the next 60 days or better. So we want to talk to you about that. Now, we also want to talk to you about opportunities. If you read your connections that are here, and you'll find out that the bulk of this was written by people like you. This Cindy Baker is another resident at one of our activities, and she created those modules. She has a talent for putting videos together, but she's one of us. And she put together a really good thing. Our president is another one like us, a guy named Ken Shanahan. I spent the last year mostly with him on part of the work group. He's a terrific guy. We have 8 regional directors in FLICRA. There's a lot of activity and contributions which you can make as residents if you have the propensity and you'd like to do that. So we do need participation. So the educational models, I would like to think at some point that we have good contact. You see, the people in the room that are important are not the FLICRA people. FLICRA people are people that communicate and provide information. Most important person in the room for us is the lady to my right. She is the designated representative and the only person authorized to dialogue on our behalf with the governance of units. Also, talk about who's important, the residence council. Nobody can speak for this agency, for the residents here except that residence council, and that's the civics lesson for the day. That's your representation to the governing body of the organization. So I'm going to quit with that, but I want to ask another favor. The final favor I want to ask is that right now, the first thing we realized is that we weren't outreaching to new residents. Georgianne, we're having somebody contact you and talk to you about FLICRA, because it only can operate when you know about it and you know what it's trying to do for you. So we ask residents to receive the FLICRA people like me who are outreaching to you, and then consider where you might fit in that process. I think FLICRA is the only game in town, as far as I'm concerned, about an advocacy for residents in the forum of the assembly, and the other representatives are people who are our providers. And it sometimes it's a cooperative and sometimes it's not cooperative because they have different agendas. I thank you very much for listening to you. I hope I didn't break the time barrier too badly.
Any questions for Basil?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, Basil,
Yeah.
can you comment on why the legislation that was really pushed by
Yes, yes, I think it's in the connections too, Wally.
Okay, well, I apologize.
Well, no, you don't have to apologize. I'm glad you brought it up. I think more than anything else, it was a disagreement over you remember us talking in here about a paragraph 113, 651, 113, that dealt with requirements of the providers, reporting requirements. They talked about the net asset position, a negative net asset position being an adverse situation. That was being pursued by the OIR. The OIR is the regulatory body, the Office of Insurance Regulation. And I don't think the leading age and OIR could come to any grips on that. I think more than anything else, that drove it. But there are other issues in there which are well defined on pages 4 and 5 of this connections this month. There's a box score that lays out every issue and whether it was accepted and in the legislation, whether it was modified a bit, whether it was mostly disregarded, or whether it fell off the table. You know, this is a negotiation process with legislatures, and it depends on what kind of argument we have, but I think I've identified the principal issue for you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Remember, this is the second year that we've attempted to move this legislation into the House and the Florida Senate. And initially it came from OIR, from the Office of Insurance Regulation, seeking tighter control and better protection for residents. And it took some more big steps this year, but it may well have to take more steps next year to see if we can't finally get this in place. I do want to speak just a little bit about what he said about this wonderful article about the bankruptcies. In the time frame involved, 2019 to 2025, there were 81 bankruptcies nationwide. As he said, about 25% of them were CCRCs, but it's an average of about 12 a year. So this is nothing that is looming over us at Village on the Green or over LifeSpace, but it's a possibility out there in the CCRC market. So it's wise for us to keep watching it and monitoring it and know what's going on. Okay, that was one thing I was going to say. That might have been all. Okay, the next speaker is Lynn Esco, going to tell us some scoop about health and wellness. You can see here what's up there, so you don't have to stand on your head.
Well, first of all, to follow Basil is really hard because he is incredible, right? I want to tell you, health and wellness is so important to us. We talk about the Oaks, we talk about assisted living, we talk about nursing care, but most of all, we talk about our residents here. What can we do for us in time, all right? And what we're doing is reaching out more and more to our mental health. We put up a few things. The virtual brain health webinars have been going on. The first one was also presented. There's a second one on Thursday and a third one on Friday. If you get a chance to go to that, that happens to be pretty interesting. Also, our Wellness Wednesdays are very important. Our next one is living with low vision. I'm going to be there for that one because that's an important area for me. And then together, all of the tables of wellness, what's going on with your plate, etc., etc. Another very important thing is our fall screening, our fall risk screening. I believe they come, every 6 months? Okay, and what they'll do is they bring over the UCF students who are taking their doctorate in physical therapy, and they take them, bring them here to assess our abilities, our fall, F-A-L-L abilities, not spring, but fall, okay? And the whole idea is to keep us from falling, and they will keep the records from the previous one and see how you're doing. possibly with recommendations of maybe going on and having some physical therapy, et cetera, et cetera. What we want to do is keep our bodies healthy. The other thing that I really want to push for is our healthiness of our minds, what's happening emotionally. Please wear your pennants, not pennant, you know, but the pennants, okay? This is for falling. Please wear these. So important. Okay, around the campus, you need to know in case you fall, you have somebody or something to call right away. Very important. Please be aware of other people in your buildings. You know, we've got a lot of people who are not coming to dinner, who are not taking part in activities. Check on these people. Find out who they are. Be a good friend to somebody. So, so important. I think I could go on and on and on and on, but I'm not allowed to. All right? Third, I'm supposed to talk. This is what's it called?
Fundraiser?
Well, that's a fundraiser. Our Parkinson's Walk. It's Lifestyle does it, and Richard has been very implemental in starting it. And it's part of the wellness and it's part of lifestyle. Parkinson's Walk is going to be Saturday, April the 4th. People have already signed up. If you've signed up, you get a shirt, which is really fun, and you can walk. The bus will leave. The bus will take us. We'll have a orientation first, some kind of a talk, and then we'll go ahead and walk around. And then if you want, you can stay and have lunch. Wonderful, wonderful event. I think that's all I have to say. Good. Thank you for your time.
It's a 1 mile walk, and the Parkinson's Association greets us and thanks us for coming. And Janet Knudsen has had a major role in this, along with Richard. This will be our second annual year, and so we're looking forward to it. And my understanding is we've got enough to fill 2 buses so far, so it's getting good support, and we appreciate that. We have a nice big Village on the Green banner that we will carry, so we've got lots of PR going on as well. The next one, Phyllis, if you would come up and tell us some highlights of lifestyle. Here's what's behind you.
Good morning, everyone. Some of the highlights for the resident meeting today, March 13th at 3 o'clock. We have our second Live and Learn monthly speaker series. We're very excited if you came to the first one. It was wonderful. And we want a special thank you for Myrna Newman, who brought this forward for us.
This is today, right?
This is today at 3 o'clock. And it's going to be in here because if you were with us in the multi-purpose room last time, you know we had such a tremendous crowd. We really couldn't accommodate as many people comfortably as we wanted to. And our speaker today, I'm really excited. His name is Hoyt Edge, and he is a retired Rollins professor, as Saki O'Sullivan was. And he's going to talk about ESP and the paranormal, telekinesis, and all those interesting things, and we can evaluate the evidence and share our experiences and have some laughs. So please join us. Lynn was so eloquent in talking about the brain health seminars. I crossed that off my list. The Mystery Mingle Party, we haven't had a mingle party here in some time. Some of you might remember when we did. The next one is March 16th at from 3 to 5. Little change in the time for this one. It's going to be a mysteriously good time. A chance for newer residents to socialize and get to know their neighbors. So please sign up at the front desk if you're able to join us. March 17th, we're all looking forward to St. Patrick's Day. There's going to be an Irish dinner served featuring corned beef and cabbage, of course, as well as the always available menu. Both will be available from 4 to 7, but David Whitty, who will play Irish music, play the piano and sing, will be doing that from 5 to 7. I was going to, of course, talk about the Parkinson Walk. We're very excited that participation has grown. So April 4th, mark your calendar, and we will, of course, have our walkers. And there's still time to sign up, so add your name to the list at the front desk. I wanted to call a special thank you to Barbara Zaslowski and Arlena Faircloth and Janet Knudsen for spearheading this event. So, thank you.
Questions for Phyllis? All good? Okay. We're ready to hear about the show. Elvis is coming to tell us all about it.
Just in case I have a cold. Anyway, my name is Carol Amster, also known as Elvis, and a couple of things came as a surprise to me when I decided to do the show. I had no idea that we had a limit of 105 chairs in this room. I thought we could fit more than 105 chairs in the room. We cannot, because Maurice has checked with the fire squad, fire marshal, and 105 is the limit, not counting the people on the stage. I also had no idea that so many people would be interested in coming to the show. I mean, this is a silly little show. Why would you want to come here? But it seems there are people who are interested. So much so that by the third day tickets were offered, they were all sold out. Well, that's not a good thing, because we want all our people to be able to come to the show. So, we've made certain accommodations. For those of you who have 5 tickets or more, how is that possible? Not quite sure. If you have more than 5 tickets for Friday or Saturday night at 7 o'clock, and yes, it's a 1-hour show, please turn in any overage, anything over 5 tickets, to Desiree at the front desk. And that will afford chair space for those who weren't able to get a ticket. Okay, if you are on the wait list for Friday or Saturday, you will be contacted if tickets become available. And Desiree will call you, not me, Desiree will call you, you'll meet her at the front desk, she'll give you a ticket. Can you get in without a ticket? No. Do you have to pay for a ticket? Of course not. Who would pay for this? Okay. Okay. If you do not have a ticket for Friday or Saturday night, you can pick up a ticket for the dress rehearsal on Thursday at 3 o'clock. That's Thursday, not this Thursday, but Thursday the 26th, the day before at 3 o'clock. Everything might not go perfectly, but whatever, it's a show. Okay, and Desiree will have special colored tickets for that. If you have a ticket for Friday or Saturday night and you say, hey, 7 o'clock, that's pretty late. I'd rather go to a 3 o'clock performance. I don't stay up to 7 o'clock. You can turn your ticket in with Desiree. Give it to Desiree and she'll make an exchange for you. What else did I have to say? You sign up for the wait list. If you say, no, I only want to go Friday and Saturday night because those are the big nights, sign up with Desiree. Exchange your tickets again. Let's say
You have the Friday and Saturday night, and you really want to go to the 3 o'clock on Thursday, she'll make the exchange for you. Okay? And that way you don't have to stay up too late. Okay. And that's about it. So there are 3 different colored tickets. I don't know what they are. But you make sure that you read the fine print, which I can't read, at the bottom of the ticket. Make sure you have the right ticket for the right date, and there'll be someone sitting at that door over there to let you in. There are not assigned seats. You do not have to pay for these tickets. You come and you enjoy the show, or you don't enjoy it. Anyway, at the very end of the show, you get the opportunity to sing with us. And the lights will go on again, and you all know Neil Diamond. Okay, so our last song in the show is America, also called Coming to America. I am not about to sing it to you now. The words are on the back of the program, the lights will be on, and everybody in the house can sing. Everybody will get a program like this, like our shirts. The girl shirts are light blue, the boy shirts, like my producer and the captain of the ship, Hal Gottschall. The boy shirts will be that color unless we run out of shirts, and then who knows, whatever. And that's about it.
Could I ask everybody who's in the show to stand up so y'all can see who your neighbors are that are doing this crazy thing? And Murray too, even though he didn't stand up, he's spotlight man. So we hope you'll come. It didn't start out as a comedy, I don't think, but it's a comedy now. So please come and look for the opportunity to laugh. Ann?
If you switch your ticket to the dress rehearsal night, can you still get a t-shirt?
No, we don't get.
No,
No t-shirt, just for this.
no t-shirts for the show.
Oh,
Just
okay.
this.
Who's wearing the t-shirt?
Okay.
The people in the show.
Oh, the people in the show
Just
are wearing the
people.
t-shirts.
There
Oh,
are
okay.
special costumes for, like the captain has a captain's costume.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this Elvis person has an Elvis costume, and other people have other costumes. But everybody else in the show wears a t-shirt
Oh,
on
I see.
top and something on the bottom.
Okay.
All the and all the dancers will have especially beautiful costumes on. Sort of. They'll have costumes on, and there we go. And what's it about? Can I have 1 minute to read this?
1 more minute.
Okay, 1 more minute. I'll
Can you
read
hear her? Do you want the microphone?
Now, you can hear me, can't you?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a big mouth. A synopsis of the show. Take a trip around the world with some of our adventurous couples and singles. The dancers we meet en route, and even a renowned singer or two. Oddly enough, the SS Life Space's main dining room is called the Palm Court, and the karaoke lounge is known as the Heron Club. Our very own Orlando is rumored to be in the Palm Court. And navigating the world's waters is our captain, who tends to be a little bit confused. Our 2 narrators will lead us from scene to scene until we finally make it back to our shores. How do we know we've made it back to our shores, to New York? What's in New York? The Statue of Liberty. And then we all get to sing. And The rest of it, I'm not giving away.
Thank you. I misunderstood. Thank you.
Next up is the Olympics.
Talk about a tough act to follow. If you're like me, many of you watch the Winter Olympics.
Yes.
Our Olympics, and you enjoyed them, our Olympics are going to be fabulous. We will not have ice skating, we will not have curling, but we will have ladder golf, relays, and many other events. But mostly, we're going to have a wonderful lunch and a lot of fun. Sign up by Friday. We could use more people for ladder golf and the relay, and we need more people to be supporters. People have said there's no place on the sign-up sheet for supporters. Just write your name, and then in the blocks that are to the right of your name, write supporters. The supporters get pom-poms, so you definitely want to be a supporter if you're not participating in the event. We have a lot of people working behind the scenes. We have two captains, and I don't see either one of them. Lenny and Eddie are our captains, but we have a manager for each event. Would the managers please stand up? They're spending a lot of time on this, and they're going to spend a lot more. So, yeah, thank you all. As former Chicago Bears Mike Singletary said, "Do you know what my favorite part of the game is? The opportunity to play." So come out, play, or support your friends on April 10th, and we'll all have a great time. Thank you.
Thank you.
And also, there's a sign-up sheet in the back. If you haven't signed up yet, please do.
I want to really feature this thing that's in yellow. They've carefully mapped out exactly which event is going to happen in which time frame. Don't sign up for two in the same time frame. There's not time for you to get from ping pong to billiards, so pick one in each category if you want to be in each category, but in each category only pick one. This is a stumbling block that we ran into last year, and we're trying, Judy's working hard to avoid that this year. Okay, Stan. That's your stuff. I gave you a logo.
Elvis, what happens if it rains? Yeah, just a joke. Anyway, I'd like to recap what went on at last week when we had the hot wire people came to talk to us. I think we'll all agree that they did a fantastic job, and I think a lot more of us have confidence that we didn't have in them before. We had 61 attendees in the morning and 51 attendees in the afternoon. So for most of you who didn't attend, you probably have more questions. Basically, what's going to happen is the program's going to take place in 4 phases. And what I've told them, and I wrote to the president, Carl Lender, real good guy, good to talk to him. And you can see from the cast of thousands they brought with them, they're serious about this. But I wrote to him and I told him, thank you for your great participation. However, to keep the natives from going crazy, we'd like to have some updates. All these people and corporations are always able to report up. They forget to tell the people downstairs, the customers, so I'm going to try and get some periodic placement of when we're starting. I think they will be on campus around the 29th to do a layout and start of it. Initially, there will be some town hall meetings. There'll be, when it comes to your room, there'll be a white glove and they will go through it with you as to what you already have. If you have a TiVo device, the remote control is a TiVo device. For those of you who haven't, you'll see no difference. The where you have the guide. It's not like the one on 2 that runs through. It's like the TiVo guide, and it tells you what each program is, how long it is. So in case you wish to use 50 hours of recording, which will be recorded in the cloud. There's a 3-day look-back capability if you forgot to catch Milton Berle or whatever it was. Maybe that's a little more than 3 days. But you can go back 3 days and get that. Inviting and hoping that the price will stay the same for everybody who signs up for it initially. You sign up later, you may be treated like a new resident and be exposed to perhaps up to $120 in fees. So the fees will stay the same right now, which is $40 per month for the internet. If you think you're not paying it, you may have a problem, but that to be taken care of. Any TV, as he jokingly said, it isn't square. Any TV that has an HDMI port, little flat one behind it, is capable. And the one thing I'm asking you, I'm trying to preload the system. They have promised us, or we went in and said, we want what we already have. Well, they've gone above and beyond. You got 120 channels that you'll never look at and don't really care about. But the channels that we currently have are HBO and Stars. So I'm asking you to load the system and please get each of the building and villa reps, go out to your community and you try and get a verbal support, so I won't lie when I go back to them and say, we'd like to keep the HBO, because otherwise those who have it may be forced and faced with a charge. So that's what I'm asking for you to do. One minor comment you will see on a side topic, there is going to be a class on the Uniguest thing on April 1st. I think they posted something on Blackboard today, and the subject will be uncovering how to use Uniguest. And Steve Gus has come up with some good ideas on how to improve it. So we'll come here and then you'll explain or ask for how to do it and what you would like to see added to it. Are there any? Yes, sir.
I love to watch football, and I have YouTube. Will I be able to, which gives me the ability to watch on Sunday afternoon all the football games? Will I be able to record that?
I'm not sure if you'll be able to record that, but you have to realize it's an app, and you can add anything to your system via an app. It's a smart system you have, and so if you have Netflix, if you have Prime, you can do it. And I'm certainly with the Netflix, you don't have to record it because it's always there.
Yeah, but
And with the football, I'll try and check into it, but we'll get an answer for you on that.
thank you.
Oh, yeah, any of those things that you have. In other words, if you have an Apple TV or if you have one of these Amazon sticks, it does whatever it is, but instead of having that Amazon stick, you will load that into, or they will load it for you. They will come into your house and everything, if you have a TiVo and you've signed up to watch the Today Show or whatever, they will include that and it will be automatically installed when they do the white plug and install it for you. Anything else?
Okay, I think currently, current users will have the same price, but then do you have to re-sign up, or is you just continue on?
It'll just roll on. As a matter of fact, if you look at the new sign-in sheet for new people coming through, it says internet, $40. So that's what you'll be paying, $40 for the internet, and that's basically for that modem that sits in your house. The one down, I'll forget the downside, I won't tell you about it. Yes, ma'am?
When you say cost remains at current fee for current residents who sign up, So if you don't have Zeno TV right now, but want to switch from what you have, what does it mean?
But if you, at the time Hotwire comes through the door and they say, this is the program, if in fact you're using Spectrum, you want to stay with Spectrum, a bigger zone. I don't know what happens. If you wish and you don't sign up and choose to sign up at a later date, there will be a fee. However, if on day one, when they come through and you say, I'm a Hotwire applicant, you're in.
Thank you.
If that's it, thank you.
We'll point out that these town halls are supposed to start in June. They will be small groups answering these kinds of questions for you, and then beginning in August, they'll be coming individually to each unit to deal with what you've got. However many TVs, I want to be sure that my printer will print wirelessly, all that stuff. They will address all of that individually for you. I'm feeling good about these guys, partly because they also are setting up the remaining 3 communities in Florida for LifeSpace. So, I mean, they've got a lot of customers, but they've now got all 4 of us looking for good service, and so they are motivated to treat us well. Okay. Jerry!
Oh, there's a sign.
It is just so much fun to follow such great news. Isn't it one? We were going to have a wonderful play. We'll have a fantastic Olympics. We're going to finally have some reliable service and white glove treatment. I mean, this is great. And it all really feeds into what I want to talk about just for one moment. And that is our whole theme for the Team Appreciation Fund, and that is gratitude. I hope you were able to read and see the pictures in the green horizon of our dear folks who were recognized because some of you sent in moments of gratitude. And so watch for it each month under the Team Appreciation Fund. And we had dear Randy, I hope you read about him, who on his own time will go around and unfurl flags. And he does it because he loves the military, because his brother is his hero and he's a master sergeant in the Army. And he does it just for that reason. And if he sees that, your flag, tied up or caught up in the on your roof, he'll unfurl it. And it's so cool when I went to talk to him. And their dear Dino, some people were watching him in the garden, the flower garden, after the frost, and were saying, oh my gosh, I hope he's not cutting things back yet. No, what he was doing was fixing the irrigation so that we could save whatever flowers that we had. And then dear Lewis, do you know Lewis? He comes in at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, he mops the annex, and then just like yesterday after our play practice, he came in and moved the chairs so that there could be line dancing. He is just somebody who is absolutely behind the scenes and is absolutely wonderful. So we need to continue while we're saying thank you to all of the wonderful volunteers here and all of the wonderful things that are happening, but to remember those beautiful employees who continue to make things happen that we don't even think about. But I have to tell you, we thought about them on Friday, and so I'm here to say thank you to the volunteers, and if I could ask one more time, all of you who were able to serve our volunteers lunch on March 6th, would you stand up, please? We had 55, thank you so much. And there were others who wanted to and couldn't, for whatever reason. But we had 55 volunteers who served, and doggone it, we didn't have a counter. That's our first thing, our improvement for next year, because we don't really know how many of our employees came through. But compared to last year, we had so much fun last year, but this year, they were standing on the line, they were coming down the pool, they were in line at every station as well as standing on the stairs, so it was fabulous. So we had great teams, and as you can see some of them, and I really don't know who put up the wonderful shelter, but as you recall, it was such a hot day. So it was a wonderful thing for our volunteers and for our food. Just all these great things that happened so that we can say thank you. I hope you can see some of the pictures, different folks who came through. You know what was great about it? Dear Angela and from HR and Kelly ordered food, Mexican food this time. So we didn't have to have our own staff preparing 200 and 300 hot dogs and staying in the kitchen, but rather they could come and eat. So in the far bottom, you're right, the bottom right picture is part of the cooking staff, from the chef staff from the Oaks, and even they were able to come. It was just tremendous. When you can see some of our waiters and some of our kitchen staff here, and then some of our housekeepers. And our next slide. All right, we had, again, and look at that lovely team. Ooh, I don't know if you remember, but the aprons have thank you in all of the, that was Jill Kroom's beautiful idea, in all of the languages that our employees speak. So someone would come to, oh, I know that. We had to look up, one was Haitian Creole, one was Portuguese, it was just great. And you know these beautiful people here. And then in the your upper right-hand corner, we had special greeters who weren't able to stand very long, but were absolutely, they guarded the dessert table and the beverage table and greeted everyone. It was just terrific. Again, some more pictures of very, very grateful employees who had a good time. And as you can see, again, on the right-hand side, some of the employees who were standing in line waiting to be served. And we had members from our committee. I want to thank all of them who were there and greeted people and helped them get ready to fill their bowl with chips and cake. Do you know what? We had 30 pounds of queso and bags of chips. And whatever was left over at 3 o'clock was then taken to the Oaks for the change in nursing staff as well as for nighttime security. So the food did not go to waste. We all were standing there going, oh, I wish we could have some. But we tried to refrain. Again, some more wonderful, wonderful servers and a colorful day and a beautiful moment of gratitude. And now I'd like to just end with this most beautiful picture. I turned around and I saw this, and number one, it just nearly brought tears to my eyes, but number two, it was the ultimate expression of friendship and of gratitude and of really a huge thank you. Isn't that just beautiful? Yes. And so, my friends, these are the people that we want to thank, and the only way we can do that, we can do it in many ways. One, of course, is the way we did it with this service. Another is we can have a great fun because many of the employees signed up to be part of the Olympics, so we can again interact with them. And then please, please donate to the Team Appreciation Fund so that once again they can be honored at the end of the year. Thanks.
And with 2 minutes to go, we are adjourned.
Wow.
I'm sure.